Hello friends, thank you for pressing play and joining me today. Today's workout is focused on stretch and release for the head, neck, and shoulder area. We tend to carry stress and anxiety and tightness in this part of our body, so we're going to work on releasing that today and finding a little more mobility and maybe some relaxation along with it. So, thank you for joining me. Let's get started. So I'm starting off seated on my heels, and this feels comfortable to me. But if this would not feel comfortable for you for whatever reason, you could be in a different position. You could be seated in a crisscross leg position, or you could just be seated with your legs out front, just finding a comfortable place so that we can work on the neck and shoulder area right now. So the first thing we're going to do is start off with a tall spine. And I'm going to get a fresh inhale, grow my spine really tall, lengthening up. And then I'm going to exhale and bring chin towards chest and try to keep my spine straight except for the very top in my cervical spine area. Dropping chin to chest and letting gravity bring my head forward. And then I'm just going to raise my head up with another inhale. And I'll turn sideways so that you can see a different angle for this. Very big. Lengthen spine, inhale, exhaling, chin to chest, and I feel that stretch in the very upper part of my back and the low part of my neck. Inhaling to lift, and then exhaling, chin to chest. So now while I'm forward, I'm going to take my hands, lace my fingers, and bring them right to the lower part of my head and the upper part of my neck. And my elbows are going to fall forward. From here, I'm going to lift my head, open the elbows, grow my spine tall, reach the elbows east to west, expanding my chest and squeezing my shoulder blades together behind me. Good, my spine's nice and tall. Fresh inhale, exhale to start to just reverse that move. Hollowing out the chest, letting those elbows draw forward. And I'm not pulling hard on my head, I'm just very gently letting it pull forward here. We're going to inhale and lift up and open those elbows wide and maybe drawing them back a little bit, possibly shifting our gaze up a smidge. Think chest expansion, heart happy and leaning forward, and then reversing that motion, flexing the neck over, drawing the elbows in close, and then lifting up and expanding, growing tall through your spine, and then maybe finding a little bit of extension at the top. Back should feel very active and engaged. Last one. Gentle on your neck. Lifting up and open. Excellent work. We're going to release that down. We're going to go into a side stretch for our neck, and I want you to see my arm position. So I'm going to be seated on my heels, or you could be in another seated position. I'm going to bring one arm behind me and find my other arm. I'm going to make a connection there. I'm going to try to really pull stable through my arms here. And I might even take my fist and kind of reach that down for the ground. I want my waist and my arms to stay right where they are. I'm going to get a fresh inhale. And I'm going to lean away from my bent elbow. And I'm going to try to let that ear drop close to my shoulder. Feel the stretch in the side of your neck and the top of your shoulder. Good, and then I'm going to raise that back up, fresh inhale. And then exhale to let your jaw drop soft, no tension in the jaw, in the head. Relax. Good, lifting up, we've got one more here. Try to keep those shoulders nice and square, right where they are. Hopefully the arm position is helping you do that. And on this last one, our third one, we're going to shift our gaze forward and look down towards the floor. And we're going to shift our gaze up and look towards the ceiling. while we're leaned over in our neck stretch. And lifting the head. So we're going to release those arms. Give yourself a little shoulder roll. In fact, you could even bring your fingertips to your shoulders and find a nice big circle with the elbows. And then let's reverse. We'll go back and around and up and over. Giving ourselves a little shoulder roll release. And one more. Good. And we're going to bring that right arm 90-degree bend behind and connect with our other arm. And I'm going to take my left hand fist down and then create a nice, strong, stable position. Fresh inhale here at the top. And we're going to exhale to let the head lean over to the side. So initially my first thought is, oh my gosh, I can barely bend my head over to the side. But we're going to work with it and we will increase our mobility here. Good. Lift that head up. Get a fresh inhale. And then exhale to just let gravity hang your head over to the side. Relax your jaw. Try not to carry tension in your face. And lift your head. We're going to do one more here. Exhaling to bring the head over, feeling that stretch through the side of your neck and the top of your shoulder. And we're going to shift our gaze forward, looking down at the floor, and then shift our gaze up, looking up the ceiling. And a couple more. Continuing with that side lean with the head, and then just gently rotating up and down. We don't want any sharp pains, but definitely you're going to probably feel a little bit of discomfort with the stretching, as I do. And lift your head. Let's release those arms. A couple shoulder rolls right here. Good, and a shrug and a drop. And shrug those shoulders up and then release them heavy down. Two more. Lift, lower. Last one. We're going to bring our hands to our knees. And we're just going to drop the chin towards chest and do a gentle roll, ear to shoulder on one side, roll through center, ear to shoulder on the other side. Good. We're going to try to keep our torso stable and steady. Try not to move the shoulders too much. And then just a gentle roll side to side. And I know this appears to not be anything of great significance, but if you're doing it, you're feeling the stretch and the work of stretching like this. And as we age, it is all the more important to not lose mobility in parts of our body where we maybe wouldn't be stretching this way on a daily basis. And I think over time, we don't realize that we're losing mobility, but we are day by day. If we're not paying attention and working these areas of our body, we are losing mobility. So, in an effort to stay young and mobile and able to tackle all the adventures of life, that's why we're doing this. We want to stay mobile and strong and healthy and actually de-stress, because that's the other dimension of health that we really need to focus on, is our mental well-being and our emotional well-being too. So de-stressing is worth a little effort. Great work. So we're going to go ahead and bring those feet forward, and I have a pillow here because sometimes sitting with legs straight out front is pretty stressful on the hip flexors possibly, or even the low back. So I'm going to bring a pillow under me, just a small pillow, and it's not going to lift me up that much, but just a little bit, so that it actually feels quite a bit more accessible. Arms are up to a T, and if your knees are soft and bent, that's very fine too. Arms reaching long. We're going to get a fresh inhale right here. We're going to exhale to side stretch over. My palm touches the ground, and I'm going to try to reach the arm overhead. Good. Stretching through the shoulder and the rib cage, pressing up to T and off to the other side. So the palm rests down, the elbow bends as I reach the arm up and over. And we're just gonna start moving side to side with this, trying to keep both of our sit bones heavy, and then bending that arm as much as you need to on the ground to aid and assist in your stretch. Good, so you can have I think I've got a bent elbow going here, but if you would like more of a straight arm stretch, feel free to go for that. So just making sure that you're feeling the stretch through your shoulder and your, the whole shoulder girdle, that area all around the shoulder. Good, and definitely down into the rib cage. Sweeping side to side. Maybe we can find some fluid motion here where we've got a little bit of flow. Inhale at the top, exhale over. Inhale and exhale. A couple more. Good. Yeah, once we get moving, our joints get lubricated and we are freed up to move a little bit more. We already did a great neck warm up, releasing that neck area so that we can stretch our head over a little bit more. Last one each way. And lift. We're gonna bring the feet into a straddle so they won't be super wide, but they'll be apart. We're gonna reach our arms right over our legs. We're gonna get a fresh inhale here in the center, and then we're gonna twist opposite hand towards opposite foot. Reach, pulse, 3, 2, 1, lift center. Exhale, twist, pulse, 3, 2, 1, reach center. Good, twist, reach, reach, reach. So there's lots of stretch going on here, and it's full body, but it's also shoulder work here. Good, inhale, exhale, 3, 2, 1, lift. You could dive your head forward into the stretch. Center for inhale, exhale, 3, 2, 1, lift. Definitely some hamstring stretch and a spine stretch, but keep those arms reaching in opposition to get a little bit of shoulder stretching here. 3, 2, 1. One more each way. 3, 2, 1. Inhale, exhale, 3, 2, 1, and lift back to center. Good work. So we're gonna come off of our pillow. We're gonna bring that out behind us. We're gonna be laying down, putting our head on the pillow. So here we are laying down on our pillow. And if you have a ponytail in, you might want to take that out so that the back of your head can slide easily on the pillow. So from here, we're going to do a little bit of release in our neck. And I'm just going to start to draw little circles with my nose. So I'm going to just be rolling around, kind of a 360 circle, finding a little mobility in the neck. Let's reverse our circle through the other direction. So just taking your gaze overhead, side, forward, and side. Shifting your gaze. And it should feel fairly nice on your neck. And then we're just going to settle right in the middle. We've got our arms reaching out to the side. I am going to slide my right arm up and my left arm down towards my feet. And then I'm going to press out to long. And I'm going to rotate my head towards my lifted arm. So I'm pressing my ear down into the pillow. Then I'm going to switch the arms. And as I switch the arms, I turn my head the opposite direction. Reaching the arms long. And then pressing my left ear into the pillow. Good, we're going to circle the arms around and then heavy the head into the pillow as I reach my arms in opposition. We're trying to have the hands, the elbows, and the shoulders all heavy on the mat or on the floor. Good, let's rotate through those arms, opposite direction, reaching long, heavying the shoulders, elbows, and palms as the head presses down into the floor. One more time, each way, sweep, heavy the head, press, and the other direction, one more time. Awesome work. Bringing yourself center, and we're going to rock ourselves up to seated. From seated, we're going to find a belly down position. With belly down on the mat, we're going to have our arms out in a goalpost position. My nose is barely covered above the mat, and arms or elbows are directly out from my shoulders. From here, I'm going to get a fresh inhale, and then I'm going to raise my fingertips up, and not just my fingertips, but my whole forearm. And this feels very interesting on the shoulder. They're not used to rotating this far in this direction. So we're just going to hang out here for a second. Release, get a fresh breath. And exhale, looking for that backward rotation, that posterior rotation. And release. And one more time. Exhaling as we rotate those shoulders to lift the forearms off of the mat. Excellent work. We're going to release that down. Sweep the arms back behind. Maybe clasp the hands and pull them away from the body. Good. And if you're not able to do that, we can just reach straight arms back here and get a very similar sensation of stretch. Good. And then I'm going to take my left hand forward, and my forehead can rest here while I grab hold of my right foot with my right hand, and I'm going to pull the shoulder away through my foot pulling away. Good. I'm opening up the shoulder here, squeezing my shoulder blade towards my spine, and lifting. Good. So a little bit of spinal extension, which is really good for us. Releasing back down. We're going to go to the other side. Sweep the arm around, find the foot, and from here, pressing that leg away, peeling the shoulder and chest up into a little bit of extension. Good. We're going to release that down, and if you've got the mobility, we're going to bring both feet back, grab hold of the feet, and pull away to open the chest. Good. Shoulder blades squeezing together. Shoulders really open. And release. And if that's not accessible to you, you can peel up and just reach those legs back towards your heels. Still a really big shoulder chest stretch. And releasing down. And we've got one more. Touching or not touching, either way works. Fresh breath. Exhale, pulling the chest up, looking for extension through the spine, way up in the cervical spine, thoracic spine, and lumbar spine. All of that is aiming to create a little bit of extension. And release. We are going to slide ourselves back to child's pose. And this child's pose is going to have wide knees. So my knees are almost as wide as the mat. And then I can sink my hips back, arms reaching long in front, and that is a big shoulder stretch right there. I'm going to take one arm and slide it through, and then from here I'm going to try to bring my earlobe, my shoulder, and the rest of my arm down to connect with the mat. Big breath here. Good. Arms continue to try to reach out from the fingertips in both directions. Hips are trying to rest down heavy. And one more big breath here. Good. Coming back up to center. We're gonna take the other arm and slide it through. We heavy the shoulder down, reaching the fingertips long in opposition. One overhead, one out to the side. Trying to get that earlobe heavy to the floor and reaching, hanging out here for just a second. Breaths. Excellent work. Slide that arm through, and we're ready for 4-point kneeling. So here we are in 4-point kneeling. We're going to do a few shrugs. We're going to drop the chest and let our bony arm structure kind of support us here as we let the chest drop. Fresh breath. Exhale. Press away to strong, active arms. Good, and a couple more. We're going to let the chest drop, and we press up and out of that. Good, and we lower and press up and out. And let's go right into a cat stretch, and it should feel really nice on your back. Release into a cow stretch where we're raising our tail and our chest. And then fresh inhale and then exhaling to lift up to cat. And one more time. Cow stretch. Lift through the chest. Lift the tail high. Fresh inhale. And then exhale to go up to cat stretch. Good. Let's come down to seated. You could be seated in crisscross or as I am seated on my heels. We're going to bring those arms up and behind our head. You could lace your fingers or just let them rest behind your head. Fresh breath here for a spine twist. We're going to exhale, try to draw the left elbow back, rotating through the spine, and then come back to center. Fresh inhale, we twist the other direction. Try to keep those elbows reaching away as you rotate your spine. Inhale, center. Exhale to twist. Inhale, center. Exhale, twist. Keep the back feeling very active as you draw the elbow back behind you. And one more each way. Inhale, center. Exhale, twist. And bring it back to center. Release those arms down. Maybe some shoulder rolls, a little twist, release. Excellent work. Thank you so much for joining me for this head, neck, and shoulder stretch and release. I hope you feel refreshed and loosened up and more relaxed. If you enjoyed the workout, please give me a thumbs up and feel free to share it with friends and family. You could also subscribe to my YouTube channel for future workouts. Thank you so much.